Hi everyone, hope you're all doing good. Right, okay, so after a bit of a break from the annual winter break that they always seem to do around this time of year, where obviously they decide season of goodwill and all that also applies to not punching each other in the cage. We are back with the first UFC card of 2024. So, and we're just going to carry on from where we left off, really. Obviously, we did a separate game for the Day of Reckoning boxing cards, but just as a bit of holiday fun. But that was its own thing, so just a complete one-off event. So we will be carrying on from where we left off on the main game, the 16th edition of the Tapology Lucky Bastard game. Last round was the second round. This is the third round here. And there are 8 of you left in this round. Once my Excel sheet loads, we'll just go over those names again, just to remind ourselves. As like I say, it's been about a month now. But yes, those names are A. Baron von Rattus, Boom Shakalaka, C. Collins 44, Damien Handel 420, Dr. Maxis 2, Mule Floyd, and Shat. So, didn't even share it to the Excel page, did I? I forgot about that. Yeah, there we go. Just getting back into the routine. But yeah, A. Baron von Rattus, Boom Shakalaka, C. Collins 44, Damien Handel, Dr. Maxis 2, Mule Floyd, and Shat. Okay, so if we go back to our main page we're supposed to be on, and our first UFC event of the year is Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker. It's technically a rematch of their last one, but that ended by illegal knees. And I'm never really a believer that fights that end controversially. I don't like trying to read too much into ones that don't come to a definite conclusion. So I'm not actually going to put too much stock on what happened last time. But having said that, there's not really a lot to read into this one at all, if I'm being completely honest. Ankalaev is a heavy favourite, and rightly so. Quite simply, I think he's got a very, very promising career for light heavyweights. Johnny Walker is, well, he's a seasoned veteran, but I would say he's probably already had the best years of his career so far. He's as looks a bit more athletic in his last few fights. To be fair to him, he's come back out and looks better. He's got some good wins recently, but in terms of uh, in terms of title aspirations, I I can't really see him competing with the likes of Ankalaev, who is, in my opinion, the head of really at the top, the creme de la creme of the light heavyweight division at the moment. And yeah, so I can see Johnny Walker surviving, but that's probably the best I can say about this one. He's had his chin cracked a couple of times already. Ankalaev, I say he's shown numerous times he's got the stamina to go the distance if he wants to play a more tactical fight, but it's I've got him by fourth round knockout. Um, so that's my little analysis of that. It's probably going to be completely wrong, but anyway, we'll get on to what we're all here for. The third round draw of the 16th edition of the Tapology Lucky Bastard Game. Carrying on from where we were last year. First up, it's A. Let's see, the first fighter out of the new year is Waldo Cortez Acosta. Waldo Cortez Acosta uh, for A there. Computer is so slow typing. Costa. There we go. And yeah, it's with I think he's a fairly safe bet to win against Andrei Arlovsky. Andrei Arlovsky, credit where it's due, he is a legend of the sport, and it's incredible he's still fighting. Had to double check, but he's 44 now, which is insane longevity. Well, obviously was a heavyweight champion back in the day, from going back to the mid 2000s. That's before I was even following the sport. I was still a kid back then when he was a heavyweight champion. That's how insane his career's been. But I'm not being funny, but age is a factor, and he has been finished a few times lately. I'd hate to see it, and I'd love to see him pull off an upset, but I've got Waldo Cortez Acosta for first round knockouts. Also, quite a promising prospect as well. As one of those cases feeding the veterans to the young, I'm afraid. But anyway, quite a good pick there for a Baron Van Rattus is up next to take on the wheel. And he also gets Waldo Cortez Acosta. Okay, so yeah, no, I'd say not really a lot to add to that. I'd love to see Arlovsky spring the upset, but I'll wait. Waldo as he's a very promising heavyweight up and comer, and in a division that, well, historically always has been a little bit shallow, and arguably is at the moment. So hopefully, if he does have to absolutely brutalize a legend of the sport, it can at least springboard him into his own legendary UFC career, maybe. Anyway, a safe pick. Anyway, Boom Shakalaka up next. And Boom Shakalaka gets Nicholas Motta. Nicholas Motta for Boom Shakalaka there. And he's an underdog, but actually I think he's a live dog. I really do. I've got him to win a decision. And yeah, that's simply because Tom Nolan he's okay, he's a very promising fighter, but he's largely unproven, really, because most of his, I think he's only, what's his record? I think 6-0, something like that. And most of that has been on the Australian regional scene, which, well, it's like, I mean, I'm not saying there isn't talent out there, but Motta's Dana White's Contender Series, Lumini, and it's that's a different level. I know, obviously, he does have a win in the UFC, Nolan, but I anyway, I can see Motta pulling off the upset there. I think he's just got more well-rounded, more experienced. So I've got him to win a decision there. C. Collins 44 up next. And he gets Joshua Van. Joshua Van there for C. Collins 44. And I've got him to win by a second round submission against Felipe Bunez. And yeah, again, it's one, like I say, first fight on the cards, and usually undercard fights, they've got the fighters on there that they got a point to prove, and we've already seen from Joshua Van. I think he came up not so long ago in this game. That's the first fight of his I properly paid attention to, and he got a submission there. I think, if I'm thinking of the right guy, but he's got the credentials on the ground. Maybe Felipe Bunez can survive that onslaught, perhaps. But to be honest, I'm not confident enough in his ability to do so yet. But it'll certainly be an interesting test. And if Bunez can have a good showing against Joshua Van, that's certainly a notable feather in his cap. But Joshua Van's the favourite, and rightly so. Damien Handel 420 up next. Already halfway through this. Rounds get shorter as they go on, obviously, as you'll get knocked out by this monstrous wheel. And he gets Weston Wilson. Ooh, yikes. Sorry about that, Damien. Weston Wilson. Oh, yeah. Weston Wilson. He's, I think, one of the biggest underdogs on the cards. I don't think he's the biggest. I think Arlovsky might have that honour or dishonour, but anyway, I've got Gene Silver to win by first round knockout, and yeah, I just can't see any way Weston Wilson wins this one. To be honest with you, that fight could be over quite quickly. He might survive a round or two, but I can't even see him making the distance against Silver. So yeah, that's quite an unfortunate draw, I'm afraid, Damien. But perhaps he can spring a huge upset. Who knows? Dr. Maxis 2 is up next. He's going to be in the Dr. Maxis's corner. And he also gets given Joshua Van, just like C. Colin 44 before him. Again, like I say, not too much to be read into a second round submission, as I've mentioned. I think he's going to be hungry. He's going to come out with a point to prove. He could play it safe for a decision, but I think he's got the ability to finish it. Submission's the most likely method of victory from what we've seen of him in the past, so that's just a educated guess for that one. Seems most likely, in my opinion. Down to the last two now. Mule Floyd. Let's see who Mule Floyd's going to get. And he gets one of the main eventers, Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker there. Again, as I sort of mentioned in the intro, he's the underdog against Magomed Ankalaev. And yeah, he's a very solid light heavyweight fighter. But I think from here on in, I think he's going to kind of settle into more of a gatekeeper role at light heavyweight, really. The sort of guy you have to beat in order to be considered for a title shot. I know he has said in interviews considering going up to heavyweight. That would be interesting, shall we say? But no, I'm not confident on that one, to be completely honest. I think Ankalaev gets it done. And finally, Shat. Let's see who Shat gets drawn with. And he also gets drawn with Waldo Cortez Acosta, just like the first two. We start with Waldo Cortez Acosta, we end with Waldo Cortez Acosta. And carrying the weight of three people in this game. But, like I say, at least he's a favourite to win against Arlovsky, and quite a heavy favourite at that. So again, I think you three, Baron and Shat, should be through quite comfortably. So, that concludes our first draw of 2024. Just to run over those again, that's for the third round. We have A is with Waldo Cortez Acosta, Baron von Rattus also Waldo Cortez Acosta, Boom Shakalaka with Nicholas Mossa, C. Collins 44 with Joshua Van, Damien Handel 420 with Weston Wilson, massive underdog there. Dr. Maxis 2 also with Joshua Van, so both him and C. Collins 44 will be hoping he can pull off a win there. Mule Floyd's in the main event with Johnny Walker, and Shat also with A and Baron von Rattus with Waldo Cortez Acosta. So that's the final draw for the third round. All that leaves me to say is good luck with your picks as always. Good luck with these selections. Especially good luck if you're going to be placing any bets on this card. Try and make 2024 a bad year for the bookies. Why not? That'd be nice to see. But until next time, so long for now.